Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 27 on logic. In this lecture also we will discuss one more question on rules of inference for quantified statements. This question was asked in GTU Summer 2020 examination. First we understand what is this question. Identify the error or errors in this argument that supposedly shows that if there exists xpx and there exists xqx is true, then there exists in the bracket px and qx is true. So here we are given the necessary steps, and using these steps we have to check that if this is true, then this is also true. So they have written all these steps, and you can see first step is starting with this. So this is the premise, and using this premise they are saying that if this premise is true, then this conclusion is also true. So they have used all these steps to derive this conclusion from this premise, and we have to check the validity of all these steps, or we have to show that whether this is valid argument or not. So what we can do is we can check all these steps one by one. We can check the corresponding reasons, and we have to identify if there is any error or errors in this method of rules of inference for quantified statements. So we start with first step. First step is there exists xpx and there exists xqx. So it is conjunction of these two quantified statements. So this is premise and this is conclusion. So reason is written as premise, that is fine. Now using this premise they are writing here that there exists xpx. So they are using this simplification on statement 1. We know that whenever we have p and q, then simplification rule of inference says that p and q, therefore p. So this is also correct, reason is correct, and rule of inference is used correctly. After that, from this we can say that there is some x for which px is true. That means there exists some value of x for which px is true. Suppose that value is x equal to c, then we can write p of c. So we are using existential instantiation on statement 2 or existential instantiation from step 2. So this is also valid step. After that they are again using this simplification rule of inference, but instead of p, now they are using q here. So p and q, therefore q. So now using statement 1 or step 1, they are writing step 4. There exists xpx. This is written using simplification from step 1. Now in the next step they are writing that q of c. So what is meaning of this? There is some value of x for which qx is true, and they are writing that value as c, and that c which is already used here. So you can see that if this statement is true for some x, or if qx is true for some x, then it is not necessary that qx will be true for the same c for which px is true. So this is the error in this method which we have given to us. Q of c, that means qx is true for x equal to c. In step 4 they have written that there exists xqx. That means there is some value of x for which qx is true, and they are considering that value of x as c, which is used in this step. But it is not necessary that qx is also true for the same value of x for which px is true. So this is the error in step number 5, and therefore we can say that this argument is not valid, or if this is true then we cannot say that this is also true, and if this is incorrect then we don't have to check for next steps. We find out error in this step. So they have written existential instantiation from 4, but instead of writing q of c they should write some another fixed value of x, say a, which can be equal to c or which can be different from c. So they ask this type of questions. Sometimes you are given the method, you are given steps and corresponding reasons, and you have to identify the error or errors in this argument validity checkup. So here we find that there is an error from in step 5, because they have used the same value of x equal to c, which is used in step number 3, but it is not necessary that qx is also true for the same value of x for which px is true. So we just have to mention this thing and we have to write systematically. I have written here the error occurs in step 5 because we cannot assume, as is being done here, that the c that makes p true is the same as the c that makes q true. That means we have written in step number 3 that from this we have written p of c, that is px is true for some value of x, and that value of x is considered as c. And in step 5 we have in step 4 that there is some x for which qx is true, so we have written that q of c is true, but it is not necessary that qx is also true for the same value of x for which px is true. So that is the error in this argument. So in this way we can identify the error or errors in the given argument or in the given validity checkup method of argument. So this is all about this session. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.